What's up, fight fans? This is Kurtaville with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have some new news concerning Floyd Money Mayweather. And Floyd Money Mayweather once again reaches out to the Bronze Bomber. And he says this. He says, Deontay Wilder, he's got bombs. That's why he calls himself the Bronze Bomber. He's got bombs now, but we can make his skills a lot better. The only thing he needs is the basics, fundamentals, and I can do the rest. That's what Floyd Mayweather said. Now, of course, we know Floyd is one of the most defensively sound boxers, one of the best boxers in this era, hands down, okay? We'll stop there in this era. While Mayweather is saying these type of things, Deontay Wilder has yet to respond to any of these, and honestly, I think that he is just really wasting his time. Now, he did say he thinks he needs to stick to the boxing fundamentals. Basically, don't change anything. Well, I'm concerned about the rest, because the rest is probably what he needs to work on, because a guy like Fury already knows boxing fundamentals, but most importantly, he practices them, okay? If you practice basic fundamentals on the reg, you won't have these problems. I think Deontay Wilder relied too much on power. I think he felt, and I think it got to his head. If everyone's around you saying, hey, you don't need to do things, if they're allowing you to skip training, and certain training that you need, and you admitted that you were allowed to skip that type of training, that is probably the thing that got you beat February 22nd and nothing else. Okay, so with Floyd reaching out to Wilder, it is a little strange. Again, why are you so worried about Deontay Wilder? Have you had relationships with or conversations with Wilder in the past? Those are the things you ask yourself when you hear Floyd Mayweather Jr. say, hey, let me reach out to them. Maybe Floyd's having a change of heart, maybe not, but then it's just weird to me. Someone at the level of Floyd Mayweather that's able to make more money than most guys to this day is reaching out to the former WBC heavyweight champion of the world, But again, maybe that's Floyd, and only Floyd can tell you that at the end of the day. I just find it strange. It's one thing to talk and mention one, to leave it out there like, hey, I can train him, like Michael Moore or George Foreman, or, a lot of people have done, after Deontay Wilder's loss, that they have, reached out. But to do it again kind of was like, okay, well, what's the urgency? What's the interest in Deontay Wilder all of a sudden? And I've heard other boxing channels say, oh, well, of course they will want to help him now. No, you'd want to help Deontay Wilder before he gets beat, before this particular time. It's called fixing a problem before it actually is the problem. Okay, so when you're dealing with someone like Deontay Wilder, I feel maybe Wilder, though, to be fair, if you would have said this before to anybody, or anybody in the camp of Wilder, hey, I could train you. Why don't you quit and fire somebody, or fire all those people and come over to Mayweather's gym? If Floyd would have said that then, especially after the first Fury fight, because that's when all the back talk, that's when all the talking began, the negative talking, the negative conversations between those two, and it wasn't anything cool. Okay, it wasn't cordial. It was kind of like, yo, you're dumping on me. So Deontay Wilder felt disrespected for Floyd, along with Mike Tyson and other people that thought that he lost, on top of thought that he needs more training, right? So if he would have said that, so I kind of answered my own question, but again, I guess you can open our persons more receptive when they take a loss sometimes, but I don't think that's the case in this situation. I think Deontay Wilder is doing it his way and his way only. He doesn't need anybody that he feels that has already done there or been there. He doesn't need them. Okay, but to be fair, I think Wilder would have felt more disrespected if he would have, if someone would have came to him like Floyd in the past, But if you really look at it, that's probably what he needed, because he got rid of Mark Breland anyway. So basically, if someone's saying, hey, quit what you're doing or quit the people that's helping you or whatever, because we can do it better over here, and then you say no, or you would have said no, look at what you're doing now. You're changing things, and you're getting with someone else, or you're bringing someone else in to make some type of changes. So fair enough, you're still changing, you're still making adjustments. But I think he's doing that because he does not need Floyd Mayweather. That's why he hasn't responded to Floyd Mayweather. And of course, I will explain all this as time permits, I promise. But anyway, you guys tell me what you think of Floyd Mayweather Jr. once again reaching out to Deontay Wilder. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.